Well, it's interesting. Some of this approach actually shows up in, I just recently have been going through training to become a trainer for this process that we have at our university to improve physician interaction with patients. So I'm going to be training our faculty and staff members and so forth on this through the Academy of Communication in Healthcare. And one of the key components is this idea of what else? You know,
Yes.
what is it that you're here for today? What's your main concern? And they tell you your main concern, and you go, "Well, what else?" Okay, what else? And what else? Until you've exhausted it, right? And they list out all their
Yeah.
concerns, and you say, "Okay, of those, we can't cover 7 things in the 30 minutes or whatever. What are the ones that are really most important to you?" And it helps to focus everything. It helps everybody get on the same page.
Yeah.
So it's a valuable technique.
And it is so valuable. Let me just share a little insight there because the and what else is the right question versus is there anything else? If you ask that, you're likely to get a no, or it can be answered with yes or no. If they say yes, obviously you can go further. But when you say and what else, it can't be answered with a no. And so you're absolutely asking the right question. I'm just adding for our listeners, don't confuse what else with is there anything else? Those are two
Yeah,
different questions. One is
they
great,
are.
one's not so great.
Yeah, and the specificity that you're providing with that as we think about questions, is there anything else is so much longer. What else? 2 words. What
Yes.
else? Right? 2
Yes.
words. In coaching training, the powerful questions are usually less than 7 words, and
Yeah.
yeah, the less that we a lot of times I think as lead especially in academics, golly, we're so bad about this. In academics, we feel like we have to qualify every single thing we say, and we have to structure this statement with all this buttressing, you know, to the point that it gets to be useless or nobody can follow it. If you can just cut straight to the chase, and that's what we're talking about here with these questions, they're so much more powerful.
Can I add another thing that's
By all means,
equal? If you're gonna lead with questions, what else do you have to do?
listen.
Listen. Yes. Now, we all know that, but one of the things I also share when I'm speaking is, who here would like to become a better listener in 8 seconds? We had 30 seconds to learn to lead with questions. This one's even shorter. And again, hands go up. And I say, well, what sport has an 8-second clock? Tom, do you know?
Bull riding.
Bull riding. Yes. And now, how long is 8 seconds to a bull rider?
When you're on a bull, it's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, you don't have to be a fan of the sport, but if you've ever been flipping channels and just watch a little bit, you quickly realize it looks like 80% of these bull riders are knocked off in less than 8 seconds. And we're talking about professionals. You and I are actually too smart to get on a bull. And but people say, okay, that's bull riding. What? I thought you said listening. Well, here's what research shows: the average person, when they ask a question, only waits 2 or 3 seconds for an answer. That silence seems like an eternity. And if they don't answer in 2 or 3 seconds, again, this isn't conscious, at an unconscious level. If they don't answer, we feel like we got to fill that silence with words. So we either answer the question ourselves, ask another question, or just move on with complete unawareness of what we just done. And so the 8-second rule is ask your question, keep comfortable eyesight, not intense, but comfortable, and count to yourself. 1001, 1002, 1003. There's times, Tom, I've gotten to 1030. The longer the silence, actually, the better the answer. They will answer. And don't interrupt their thinking with words. Now, Tom, maybe some of your listeners today might actually later today be annoyed at what I just shared because up to now they've been unaware. But later today, they're going to ask somebody a question, and at 3 seconds, they're going to pop in and start talking, and then they're going to remember, and they're going to think, oh, darn that TD, I wish he'd never told me this. Well, Tom, it still happens to me occasionally. And when I realize I've just violated the 8-second rule, I'll say, time out. My bad. I asked you a question. I didn't even give you time to answer, and I started talking again. Please forgive me. Here's the question again. This time, you take whatever amount of time you need. I've never had anyone be ungracious when I did that. And so I'm just confessing again, occasionally I violate it and have to call my bad on myself, call a foul on myself, and then move on.